Good morning. And how are you this morning? Actually, be afternoon for you, but thank you for that thumbs up. Just waiting on for some more people to show up. Hopefully you've had your dinner already, or if not, getting ready to. To show you, this is today's coffee cup. I'm actually using my wife's coffee cup. I'm sure I'll have more people drop in as we go along here. It's only been about 4 minutes. I had to turn my air back on because it's quite warm in here. We're going to have another hot, humid day today. Let's see what it's supposed to get to today. Let's see. Right now it is 24 degrees. Let's see what we're supposed to get to today. We're supposed to have some heavy thunderstorms today. And let's see, it's supposed to get 28, which I think is what it is there in the Philippines, 28 degrees. But we have an 80% chance of heavy thunderstorms today. I do have to go into work later on for about an hour to take care of something, and then I'm done with that. Then I'm supposed to go to the store, so it all depends on what the weather's doing. If I go to the store today. But yeah, tomorrow is supposed to be 31 Celsius, and storm in the morning, and then 34 Celsius on Monday, and then be in the 30s, high or low 30s the rest of the week. So yeah, we're into our summer, and sometimes we get up to the low 40 Celsius, and very humid. We've been turning our air conditioner off at night because it does keep it cold during the day, and but you know, with the humidity out there, it kind of warmed up in here, and I'm really surprised it hasn't turned back on yet. But we'll get there. So I hope you're doing well this evening. I'm just still trying to get things ready for this live stream and wait on more people before I talking about this and that, and hopefully people will start showing up. They know I'm on Saturdays, and but maybe they're just busy today. All right. This is going to end up being a short live stream if I don't get too many people to come in. But I'm sure I'll have to repeat myself as people come in. Good morning, Side, or good evening to you. Just kind of waiting for more people, excuse me, I can't even talk this morning, to show up before I kind of shared anything this morning, so that way I'm not constantly repeating myself. And this is this morning's cup. So one of the things that I was going to talk about here this morning is, if you haven't seen my last video, is I did get a new guitar, and here's what it looks like. Nice and shiny. There's the headstock right there. It's a little different sounding than my other one, probably because of the different types of woods. Yeah, I just got it a few days ago. My son ordered it for me for Father's Day, and yeah, I just got it. What day was it? Wednesday, I think it was. I just got it in. Good morning out to Betsy, or good afternoon to you. I don't know if I'm in tune. I usually use my iPad, which I'm using for this, to tune it. So I do have a tuner though. That's all right. I know it's in the evening there in the Philippines. You guys are having dinner. If you already had dinner, you're probably taking care of your dishes and stuff around the house. So you guys go right ahead and do what you need to do. And I'll just sit here and do whatever. So anyway, yes, this is my. You'll probably see me in the guitar, but this is that guitar right here. And then of course there's the headstock, and this is basically Gibson's cheap model guitars. They're called Epiphones, and of course they're all Chinese made. And of course, I don't know if you know, Gibson is a very expensive brand, and with the taxes, this thing came out to about $147, which is actually cheaper than my other guitar, because it was about $250 for my other guitar. And it's called a Rogue, my other one. And I think Rogue is a Musician's Friends brand, which is where this came from. And I was going to go through another company, and they wanted $10 more for it, so we went through Musician's Friend instead. In fact, when I got it, of course it was out of tune, and I had to take the Allen wrench and then go inside the strings here to the truss rod that runs up here, and adjust this neck, because the strings were buzzing on the frets, and it's probably still not set properly, but it's better than what it was when I first took it out of the box. So yeah, I mean, they claim it's because of the neck design. They claim it's better for beginners, because it is a beginner guitar, and which I like cheap guitars for some reason, and they say it's better to fret or to finger, because your fingers aren't getting all sore, because you're not supposed to be able to press as hard as you would like my other one, but I don't feel it's any different. But I do need to learn more chords and start learning my scales and playing notes instead of chords along with the chords, and start using my pinky more. Well, good, Side. Hopefully you'll do a video on that so I could see it. Yeah, it does have a warmer tone to it than my old one. I actually have another guitar that my wife bought me a long time ago, but soon after I got it, well, actually when I got it, there was a piece inside the guitar that was not glued properly. We probably should have sent it back and got another one, but I didn't do it. And when you would play it, you could hear that buzzing in there, and I just stopped playing it, and then I put it back in the cheap little bag that they gave with it, and ended up the head busted off of it. So I'm going to have to get some glue and glue the head back on, and see if I can actually fix that. And it's black, and it has a richer, warmer tone to it as well. And I really like that guitar. When I play my F, you're supposed to put your fingers on both, or this finger here, if I can get it in the camera. This finger is supposed to go over this string and this string, and then you're like that. But I can't get that one to stay over that string unless I take my fingers off to the side. But most of the time I just play it with that string, that E string, open. So there you have it. That's my new guitar there, and I'm going to eventually take this thing off of there because I think it looks a little dumb. And all that does is takes you to their website, looking at more guitars, is all that does. So I hope everybody's doing well this morning, and like I said, I'm sure everybody's kind of busy tonight. I don't go on as early as I used to because it was just too much on me, so I just started to go on 6 o'clock in the morning here, and I know that's 7 in the afternoon in the Philippines. And of course, a lot of you that go live, I'm either, depending on what time you go live, I'm either working or I'm in bed, so it's hard for me to catch your live streams. On the weekends, I could probably catch them better than during the week. In fact, Side Day, I think I've only been in one of yours, and I think it was probably late here when you were on. But I think of what's the, in about 2 weeks, actually next weekend, I have to start taking a medication called Metoprolol, and I have to take that for 4 days, and that's to slow my heart rate down because I got to go in for a CT scan of my heart so they can check my arteries and see if that's what's causing me to have me not being able to breathe all the time, and or breathe well all the time, because I can breathe, but I have labored breath all the time. So to me, it's just like if I have asthma, but I don't. They're saying I don't have asthma, so it's like a person who's got asthma and they're trying to get their breath or keep their breath, and it all started going up about 3 or 4 flights of stairs. I get a little dizzy, and I'm trying to get my breath, and then I'm a fast walker, so so my fast walking causes me to get out of breath. So other than that, I'm doing good, and so they just want to have me slow my heart rate down, and then they're gonna, when I do the CT scan, they're gonna inject some dye in me and then put me in that machine and check my arteries, and I guess they can see my lungs and all that stuff, and see what's going on that way, because he said, of course, the true way of checking to see if you got any clogged arteries is doing the catheterization, which he's trying to steer away from that and just go this other route. And I know this is going to be expensive on me, and I don't know how I'm going to end up paying for this once I get the bill. So, but other than that, I'm well. I'm doing okay, and just chugging along like I always do. And I got to go in for some blood work, and I got to ask them. I got to call them. I was going to call them yesterday and see if I could go to my doctor's office to get this blood work done, because I'm not quite sure where to go to get this done at. But this is the shirt I'm wearing today, because that's what it's all about. And my air did kick on a while ago, but it didn't stay on very long. It is quite, excuse me, warm in here, so I may have to end up turning my ceiling fan on. Because I am getting a little hot and sweaty in here. So what's for dinner there, Ate Betsai? I am going to be making a video of me trying to make adobo. I'm sure I could do it. Um, I haven't bought all the ingredients yet. I wrote uh, the ingredients down, and I did go to the store, but the store I go to doesn't have all those ingredients. I do have some. Let's see here. I can find my list. So, I bought some lemon juice yesterday, and I don't have any garlic cloves, I don't have any bay leaves, and I don't have any white onions. It calls for black peppercorn, but I do have black pepper, so I guess I could just use black pepper. And one recipe calls for fish sauce on top of the soy sauce, and I do have white vinegar. And then I gotta buy the chicken, of course. So I do have chicken wings, but I don't want to use the chicken wings. I just want to get chicken, probably just use some chicken breasts and just use those. But there's not too much going on here. Like I said, we are going to experience some storms today, and I hope it doesn't. They're saying heavy rain, so I hope we don't get too much heavy rains, because I got some things I got to do. I do have to go into work today for about an hour and take care of something in one of the rooms, and because it's going to take a good 24 hours for this stuff to dry that I got to put on the wall. So and there's no production today, so nobody should be there other than some lab people and the guard. I hope this thing's in tune. Stumbling down the street after drinking whiskey. Air was cold and there was no one to meet. I stumbled again, I fell on my face. Why does my life always seem like a race? I felt a star pain poking in my head. I knew I wouldn't make it to my bed. She stood in the doorway, a stick in hand. She knew I wouldn't follow her demands. Living one day at a time. All I want is you to be mine. If not, I guess it'll be fine. I just want to live one day at a time. One day at a time. And I'm going to stop right there because I think I need to tune this. So I got to get my tuner, and then I'll start this song back over. There we go. Stumbling down the street after drinking with Pete. Air was cold and there was no one to meet. I stumbled again and fell on my face. Why does my life always seem like a race? I felt a sharp pain poking in my head. I knew I wouldn't make it to my bed. She stood in the doorway with stick in hand. She knew I wouldn't make her demands. Living one day at a time. All I want is you to be mine. If not, I guess it'd be fine. I just want to live one day at a time. One day at a time. You keep me awake with your crying. Every day it's the same old thing. You may think you are dying, but you're just playing a game. I can't be a fool no longer. I thought our love would be much stronger. Every day it's the same old thing. I think you're just playing a game. Just playing a game. was wrong. When things weren't going my way, I turned over and you were gone. I knew I was gonna happen someday. Living one day at a time. All I want is you to be mine. If not, guess it'll be fine. I just live one day at a time. One day at a time. Well, I just botched that thing up. Yurishi, good morning. Or good afternoon, or good evening, or wherever it is you are. I have to take these things off because I can't see crap in front of me. I really do need new glasses, just like my wife needs new glasses, my son needs new glasses. So oh, I dropped my phone here. Oh, I can't pick up nothing this morning. I think that's Soichi is who that is. Oh, good Lord. So I have bifocals, and even my bifocals suck. So I don't know if you can see the bifocal in there, and I can't see crap. So, and then when I got to wear that mask, they gave us one at work, and every once in a while I'll wear it. Let's see if I can find it here. So this is the one they gave us at work, and it's funny because the people wear it upside down, and as you can see, it's got like, I don't know how you, let me get this thing right here. So it curls up at the bottom, and this here is actually the top, but they'll take this part and put it on the bottom, so they'll wear it. I mean, I guess you could wear it like that. I mean, it's up to you now. But in my opinion, it's. Let's see if I get that right. Yeah. So I think it's supposed to go like this because that little pocket fits. Your chin fits in that little pocket. But they wear it the other way around, and yes, it is. It's very shiny, and. But yeah, I mean, I know we got to wear them. Everybody in the United States, we're not used to wearing stuff like this, so we're about sick of it. And you get some people who will fight the system and doesn't want to wear it. And these stupid leaders here, they'll get on camera and they'll take it off so they can talk. And it's like, well, it's not protecting you just because you're talking into a microphone. So if you put the stupid thing on, you can still hear me, can you not? But some states, no matter where you are outside, they want you to wear this at all times. And for too long, they're going to say, well, you'll have to wear it in your house too. Well, you don't know what goes on in my house. My door's shut, so you leave me alone. So there it is. I know you could probably hear me louder with it off, but, and then most of the times I can't wear it at work a lot of times because my glasses, and because my glasses start fogging up. So then I'm having my glasses up here all day long at work. I put them on my head right. So then I'm wearing this thing. So I put this one on, and it's got the little band right here. So here I am putting this on, and then I got to put this on, and hopefully all my hot air doesn't shoot up this way and fog up my glasses. So that's why most of the time I'm wearing this and not that. So yeah. But this one here, it has one here for my strap, and of course the one on the bottom, and one on the bottom, and I did have my strap on. So my old one doesn't have the one at the top, and I had to put a shoestring on it, and then tie it around right here. And I'm glad this one's got it on that bottom part. Well, good morning, Diosa Javelin. I hope I said that right. If I didn't, I'm sorry. I'm horrible with how to pronounce words, so even English words, I'm even horrible at pronouncing them. Yeah, the white one is a lot better than that cloth one. It's also not as thick. You guys got way too many ninjas. Don't worry, and I had to go back over what you guys were saying. Don't worry about being late. I really didn't expect anybody to show up today, and my first person that showed up, I don't know if she's still in the room, but I think she left because you guys are late evening there doing dinner and dishes and all that stuff. So I hope there's not too much of a lag, because it is on my phone showing pretty much of a good lag. Maybe if I got rid of it and started over, maybe it will catch up. Yeah, see, I'm just now, let me see here. I don't know. Anyway. This song, when I wrote the chords to it seems like I like to play F a lot, but changing from, I try to get my chords where they're kind of close together, so I'm not moving my fingers too much. And this one I kind of didn't do that, so you gotta start out with an A minor, and then you go to a G. It goes to an F, and then back to a G, an F, and an A minor. So they're kind of close together, but it's more of moving those fingers. I'm used to my camera being on that side, and I flipped it. I had to flip that this time because if I had the camera on the other side, then everything's backwards. So I had to flip it over, and usually I'm looking on the right side anyway, so. But I'm using that Prism Live app again, and I was going to have a border going around, but I just said forget it. And it didn't play my intro for some reason. Maybe I turned it off because I thought I had it ready to go, and it didn't play it for some reason. Get my fingers right. Many miles from my destination, I sit down with no recreation. I am not ready this morning. Hoping there'll be no fuss on the bus. Head in hands, feet on the ground. Eyes were sore from the night before. Don't know what to do. Coming home to you. Until then it'll be a wild ride. Good morning, MCV's World. I looked out the window to the north. Saw a child swinging in a pond. I can get my fingers right. So, to stop this song is about a guy who, of course, was waiting on the corner for the bus. He'd been out all night long, and it's daytime, and he's waiting on the bus to go home. And it's his experience of looking out the window on his way home and what he sees. And he considers that a pretty wild ride of his experience of what he's seeing outside. Actually, this song here is on YouTube. So you just go through my videos, and all these songs, like this one and the one I played before and A Little Free, is all on my channel. And one of these days I'm going to have probably somebody else play the guitar and record this for me, and then I'm just going to sing for it and then have drums on it and all that stuff. So maybe I'll do the drum track on it. Yes, it should be, if you're in the Philippines, it should be going on 8 o'clock at night. But it is going on at 7 in the morning here. So I'm just starting my day, and you guys are ending your day. That's what we get for living on opposite sides of this planet. And Friday we had went into stage 4, so everything should be opened up now, and they're allowing at least 100 people to gather, and so restaurants have been pretty full, and they had tents set up outside for people to eat, and I don't know if they were just all eating outside and no one can go inside, or if that was just kind of like a spillover from people going inside and eating. But we went by one restaurant, and because it was very hot and humid yesterday, nobody was sitting outside in that tent, so they must have been inside eating, and because they had one side of that tent closed up. Yeah, I have a lot of videos, so all you have to do is go through my playlist and see what's on there. I got goofy stuff on there. I had Rose Vieira. She had challenged me to, well, I was supposed to do the Tala dance, but I just can't seem to remember the steps. So I didn't do that. And then I had another person want me to do a robot dance, and I didn't really do so much a robot dance. I can't remember what she was calling this dance, but anyway, I did a crazy dance. It looked more like I was exercising, but after doing that dance, I did feel like I was exercising because I was out of breath. So part of it was being goofy, and so yeah, if you want to check that out, it's on there too. So who knows? And then of course I got my hula hoop thing on there, because I said if I get to a certain amount of subscribers, I'll hula hoop for you, and I did. And I used to know a couple of tricks a long time ago, and I can't do them anymore because I just stopped hula hooping. So so yeah, and then I'm gonna do another cooking video. I made them cookies, those no-bake cookies, and I'm gonna do another cooking video and making some Filipino food. And yeah, I'm not doing no TikTok. That's a Chinese app, and the way they've been talking is they know your entire business once you've logged that in. So I'm not too interested in that. And so yeah. Oh yeah, and then let's see what these other songs are about. So these songs were actually written by me and an ex-guitar player, and he doesn't remember writing them, but he wrote some of the words. I wrote most of them, plus I wrote the music to it. And of course the one I played first, One Day at a Time, that's about a man who went out and got drunk, and heading home. He gets home, and there's the wife standing in the doorway with a stick in her hand. We're getting ready to bop him over the head for being out late drinking, and he's just trying to live his days one day at a time. And he kind of gets in with it with her, and that's basically what that one's about. And don't ask me how we came about that. And then a little free is somewhat kind of a love song, and see, I know I've played this song many times, but the first part of it, I mean, it kind of doesn't really go with the rest of the song, but it just kind of fits in a way. But it's crazy. Yes, I ate actually 2 hours ago. I got up at, well, hour and a half ago. I got up at 4 o'clock this morning, or 4:30 this morning. It was 4:30 this morning, and took my shower and got ready. And then, actually, about 5 o'clock this morning, I had my coffee, which this is my second cup. I'm almost done. So here's today's cup. Oh, let me get it in here. So this is actually my wife's cup, and so this is to everybody out there. You're all beautiful, fabulous, and glamorous. So just remember that. So I have my bagels like I always do, and that's basically all I eat for breakfast is a couple of bagels and 2 cups of coffee, and so yeah, I'm used to getting up early in the morning. So actually, I go to bed around 8 o'clock at night. That's why I don't get to see a lot of your live streams, because I go to bed at 8, and I get up at 3:30 in the morning, and then I got to be at work at 5:30 in the morning. So, but today I got to go in for an hour and do some repair to a wall, which really will only take me about 15 minutes, if that, to do it. But I'll get about an hour's work in. Now, a lot of people think that my songs are country songs, and I really don't have a genre with them. I mean, if they sound country, great. But one of these days, I'm going to record these with a full band. So once I get, one of these days, I'm going to buy me a little bitty recording system. And the only thing I'm going to have to do is have somebody who knows how to play bass come in and do their bass line, because I can't play bass. And then find a place to set up my drums and do the drum track on it. My house is, the walls are so thin, it's like a, I don't know if you guys know what a mobile home is. The mobile home walls are about that thick. They're not very thick walls, and so yeah, I mean, my walls are thicker, but there's no insulation in them, and you can hear everything in this house. So I thought you were drinking some coffee. Thought you were drinking with me. I thought you could be a little smarter. Wow, that was crazy. Thought you could be a little free. You left me standing with some pain outside your window in the rain. I got wet while you stayed dry. Then I went home and I cried. That part means because she was mad at me for some reason, and I was trying to talk to her, and she wanted nothing to do with it. Thought you were drinking some coffee. Thought you were drinking with me. Thought you could be a little smarter. Thought you could be a little free. What's it gonna take to love you when I don't have anything to do? Please don't smile at me anymore. Every time you do, you're out the door. Thought you were drinking some coffee. Yes, ma'am, that is. I just lost my. I seen you come up and I lost my track. So, good morning, everybody. Hello, Jason's World, and hello, silly girl. Um, okay. So here's my new guitar right here. Yes, it's very shiny, and there's the headstock right there. It's got more of a richer tone, probably due to the type of woods that they use than my other guitar. Man, my nose is. Excuse me. One moment here. And yes, I got my stuff sitting right over there. Oh Lord. But this other song that I wrote, actually the very last song that I wrote, I have like a mental block right now. But I will eventually write another song. But the song that I wrote, 57 Chevy and a Bottle of Crown, if you haven't heard me explain that song before, this was in December. We had just had a big kind of an ice storm. And at my old house that I used to live in, we had a huge mulberry tree that grew next to my garage. And when we had that snow and ice that came in, it built up on that tree. Well, when it did that, it was probably about a branch that was about the weight of 2 tons. And it slowly fell towards my house. And luckily it slowly fell, because if it would have fell any faster, it would have went through my house. But if it went over slow, and one of the branches that was on there poked through my roof and put a hole about that big in my roof. So after that, it took a while for me to get somebody to get that thing off my house, and it had also fallen on the neighbor's power line, and I had to have my brother come over with his chainsaw, and I'm picking this thing up off this power line, and I'm trying to explain to him, and I don't understand why he was so dumb in the head at the time, where I wanted him to cut it. So I'm holding this heavy tree and trying to get it off this power line, and trying to point and show him where I wanted him to cut this branch. He finally gets it, and I said, okay, when you cut that branch, I'm going to run the opposite direction, because I don't know if this tree is going to roll, and I just don't know what's going to happen. So he cuts that. The branch I'm holding goes up, the power line goes up, and I take off running, and everything worked out great. So so the rest of the tree, I got the tree off the power line to save the neighbor's power, and then it took me, it seemed like a month before I could finally get somebody to get this thing off of my house. And so they come in with this big old truck and several guys, and they got a crane on this truck, and they start cutting branches off. And I told them, I said, well, I want you to cut that entire tree down. So after, they were really kind of marking everything up because of the situation. So after $7,000 later, they cut this thing off. They piled all that stuff in my backyard, because I told them that I wanted the wood. And so later on, and I wrote this December 17th, 2006 is when I wrote this. So what this song is about is I went to a fellow band's house. Thank you. And I was sitting there watching them practice their songs. And luckily I had paper and pencil with me. And all of a sudden this song came into my head. And this is basically a song about me sitting there listening to them, and it's cold outside, and about this storm, and so on and so forth. So so that's what this song is about. And I didn't have a 57 Chevy, and I didn't have a bottle of Crown, but it just kind of fit in there. So I had to really, even though it just came to me, I had some of it. I had to really think hard what I wanted to put in it. Sitting on the sidelines, listening to the band. I don't know if I can remember. Sipping on some whiskey and taking it in. It's cold outside, but warm in here. Think I'll go take a piss and slip back in. Listen to some music after the storm. I don't think I can take any more. Seems like life keeps hitting the floor. A two-ton tree knocking at my door. Now if I get the damn chords right. Anyway, yeah. So I had a 2-ton tree knocking at my door. I thought that was kind of a cool reference to. It's okay, Side. You do what you need to do. So yeah, that reference there was about that tree hitting my house. So and this house that I went to, it was on the outskirts of the town I'm in, and it was kind of actually in between where I live and the next town. So the next line is 100 miles to the nearest town, and this guy had lived out in the middle in the country. He had a decent home. I probably took this song a little faster than I normally do it. Let's see if I can do this song better. I don't do this song all the time. I actually tried to rewrite it again. I've got so many scratches on here of, well, no, I don't. Let's put this here. I don't like this chord. Let's put that chord, and so it's just another one of those CDG songs or GCG or whatever you want to call them. It's just 3 chords is all it is, and let's see if I can do this again. I probably was doing a little too fast. Sitting on the sidelines, listening to the band, sipping on some whiskey, taking it in. It's cold outside, but warm in here. I think I'll go take a piss and sit back in. listen to some music after the storm. I don't think I can take any more. It seems like life keeps hitting the floor. A 2-ton tree knocking at my door. 100 miles to the nearest town. A 57 Chevy and a bottle of Crown. Feeling drunk, tired and old. Digging in my pockets and finding no gold. It's 11:45 and almost home. My head is dizzy and I'm feeling alone. A 57 Chevy and a bottle of Crown. A sheriff's on my tail and I'm about to drown. So that is 57 Chevy and a bottle of Crown. And it seems like every time I play that song, I always do it different. So, for all you that just came in, I was talking earlier. Let me scoot this thing forward. So, I went to go see my heart doctor the other day, and I told him pretty much nothing has changed. They were thinking that my CPAP machine was causing me to lose my breath when I'm going up and down, or going upstairs, several flights of stairs. And when I walk long distances, I'll lose my breath. And so now he wants to do a CT scan on my heart. So what I have to do starting July 2nd is I got to take this medication called metoprolol. And I have to take that for 4 days. And what that's going to do is that's going to slow down my heart, which I hope that's not going to be a bad thing and cause me go into panic mode or cardiac arrest or whatever. But we'll see. And but I'm also going to have to ask the pharmacist if I have to stop taking any other kind of medications for 4 days while I'm doing this. And July 6th, I go in and have this test done. But I'm also supposed to get some blood work done. I got to call them up Monday and find out if I can go to my doctor's office and get that blood work done, because I don't know where to go in the hospital to get that work done. And then once that's all done, I have to go back the 21st of August and see what he has to say about the test, unless they call me beforehand and tell me what's going on. But that's what's going on with me health-wise. Other than I'm a pretty healthy guy. Every time I have all these tests done, they tell me they don't find nothing wrong. So yeah, they just say you're pretty healthy, and which is a good thing. And I have not been wearing my CPAP mask last week, And if everybody doesn't know what a CPAP mask is, and what it does is, this is my mask that I have to wear right here. And the machine, when I turn it on, it blows air constantly through these two pillows that's in my nose, and it keeps me from stop breathing. Well, that's their concept. And my old mask, this is a new mask, and this sits on top of my head. My old mask, if I could find it here, if it's in here. So this is my old mask. So this thing makes me look like I'm an elephant. So when I put this thing on, I will demonstrate. So this is how I'm sleeping at night. So as you can see, it makes me look like I'm an elephant. And when I'm sleeping, because I'm a side sleeper, this hose keeps me up all night because I got to keep moving it because it's over my side and all that stuff. Well, this new mask, it sits on top. So when I put this thing here on, like this, well, this is off to the side and it's not bothering me. Well, they want me to wear that thing usually about after 4 hours. I've had about enough of it, and I take it off and shut the machine off and put it away, because it's got to be dark in my room and quiet. And I used to have a fan on. My wife still has to have a fan on, but I can't stand the noise. I want total quietness. Well, this thing, I can hear the air and me breathing with that thing in my nose, and it bothers me. So, and plus, you have to put water in this here little reservoir, which I got to put some in there because it's almost empty. And which actually I have the humidity turned off on it because it starts building up too much moisture in my nose, and then it bothers me. And I actually need to rechange my hose because it's got a heated hose on it, and I have two different types of hoses. So this is not a heated hose, and this is I'm gonna end up using this. And but this one, this is a heated hose, as you can see the difference. But these coils are supposed to heat up the water, and then it's got a different end on it. Because they said I have, because I went in for several sleep tests, and they said I have sleep apnea. I stop breathing when I'm sleeping, and my wife was supposed to have one of these, but she can't stand the air in her face or in her nose, so she just didn't do it. And these machines are very expensive, and they actually want me to have a BiPAP machine. And a BiPAP machine, well, this machine, the CPAP, it's a constant air blowing at you. It's a non-stop air blowing at you. But a BiPAP, it breathes with you, so the air is in and out, so it breathes in and out. Well, those machines are more expensive, and so I have to basically rent it for 3 months, and I think she told me it was $100 and some a month, and I can't afford that. And then after that, the insurance pays the rest, which I think she told me it was over $5,000 for that machine. And I'm like, good Lord. So yeah, that's what's going on with me physically. Other than that, they say I'm pretty healthy. Uh, I got to get my bike back in shape so I can start riding my bike again. Um, Although my feet go numb when I'm on it too much. This is my strap that I took off of my old guitar, and I got my Marilyn Monroe pin on there, and then some Grateful Dead stuff, and then this here is a I don't know if you guys know what roller derby is, but we have roller derby teams here, a team here in my town, and it was upside down. There we go. So they're called the Prairie Land Punishers, and it's an all-girl team. So they get on roller skates, and when it started back in the 70s, they had the ramps were the track was like this, you know, like you would have for racing, and it was an oval track, and so you got one person who is, shoot, I forgot what they call that person. So you got a bunch of people ganged up in one place, and then you got another person, you know, you got two teams, and one person from each team, they have to be in front of the rest of the people, and they go around the track as fast as they can, and they got to try and break through that crowd and pass all them up. And in the meantime, those people are crashing into each other, and they're trying to prevent you from passing, and the more you pass, the more you score. And back in the 70s, they got really physical. I mean, they're taking their arms and their elbows, and they're bashing into your head and your body, and they're knocking you down, and you're flying over these guardrails and falling on top of each other. But today they're flat track, so you're still doing the same thing, but you're just doing it on flat ground. So it's an all-girl team. They do have a men's team, but I'm not quite sure what they call them, what their name is. But I don't think, they haven't really been promoting the men too well, so I think they might have disbanded. We used to have two teams in this town, and the other one shut down for some reason. I don't know why. But I think I have a t-shirt. I actually got a t-shirt of both of them. So I was actually wearing this one yesterday, and this is the team today. So this is their logo here, Prairie Land Punishers. I probably said that wrong in the beginning, but yeah, Prairie Land Punishers. So that's their team logo. I'll see if I can't find this other. Well, I know I got it in here somewhere. Yeah, can't find it. Go figure. Anyway, yeah, I can't find that shirt. It's somewhere. So, yeah, I hope you're all doing well today. And if you haven't hit that thumbs up, please do so. I'm going to Now that I talked all about that, I'm kind of at loss at words. And of course, today's shirt is this. It's all about Jesus. What's it's orange? And now my coffee's cold. So I hope everybody's had a good meal tonight. Yesterday we had pizza for dinner, which cost me a lot of money, and for 4 people, because I actually got 3 pizzas. Me and Debbie share one, and then I got a pizza each for the boys, and it wasn't cheap. And then the guy calls up when he's delivering it, because the GPS for my house is opposite direction of where my house is. So when they go by GPS, they go that opposite direction. And then they're calling me up, hey, I can't find you. And I'm like, well, when you come down that hill, you got to turn left and not right. Because I always come down the hill and go right instead of left. And he's like, oh, yeah, I remember. So, and then here he came. Let me put this thing up. Yeah, it's always fun to have sometimes I wonder why I keep this stuff. It's probably because I pay a lot of money for it. If I could put it away. There. What's that? Well, it all depends on what you're talking about. What's that? I've shown you a lot of things, so I don't know which one you're talking about. Well, hello, Che. I'm glad you can visit. I hope your day and evening is going well there. My day is just starting. It is now 7:30 in the morning here, and I'm not going to go into work until around 10 o'clock for about an hour. And I left work early yesterday, an hour early yesterday, so I got to put in an hour. Put on my face. That's called a CPAP mask, and that pushes air into my nose and keeps me from not breathing. Yes, I was actually playing it earlier, and here's that guitar. It's very shiny. You can see me in see me in there, and wow, they just said a translucent image was in the thing, and to remove it. So that was funny that it did that, because it may shut down my live stream. Never seen anything like that. That was funny. Let's see, I'll back this camera up a little more. I did have it back a little further earlier. There we go. And I'm using that Prism app because every time I use the Live Now app, for some reason, the sound is all screwed up. So I think it's the app that's all screwed up, because my sound is not screwed up when I use this app. It's got a, I think it's got a richer tone to it than my other one. I'd have to get my other one out to compare it. But I think it does have a richer tone to it. So here's my old guitar. I put that humidifier in there. I'm going to take this humidifier out, and if I can get it out of there. All right, so here's, this one's actually smaller, and it's actually electric. So there's all your stuff on there, and then it plugs in through the bottom. But like I said, this one here doesn't have this little thing on there like my other one does for my strap. So I have to tie a string around here for the top part of the strap. No, I have not cooked that adobo yet. So there's the sound of that one that you guys always hear. I do have a third guitar, but it's broke. So one of these days I'm gonna get it fixed. I think this guitar is a little louder. So yeah, so it's bigger. It doesn't have that cutout on there. So the other one has a cutout. But I do have another guitar that Debbie bought me a long time ago, and it was we should had sent it back when we got it and had it replaced, and I didn't do it. And dummy me should have done it. And I don't know if you know who Escobar is, but he's a famous guitar player, and I think he's from Spain or Mexico or somewhere, one of those countries over there. And she bought one of his guitars, and it was black, and inside the guitar, there's bracing in there, and on one side of the brace was not glued very well to the body of the guitar. So every time I would play it, you can hear that piece of wood buzzing. And I was going to try and fix it myself, get a bottle of wood glue and shove it through the hole and try to put some glue on the back end of it, but I really didn't have a way to brace it up to hold. So then I just kind of put it back in the cheap little bag that it came in. Well, from all the moving around and stuff, I think something fell on it, or it fell, and the head of it broke away from the neck, and I'm going to have to get some wood glue and glue the head back on and see what I can do with that. So yeah, maybe my next live stream I'll get that out and show you what it looks like. And but other than that, I can't play it. But I was going to buy this guitar myself, and I was getting ready to push the button and I'd stop. And I said, well, I'll just wait, and I'll wait, because it only costs, with tax, $147. This guitar cost me $250, only because it is an electric acoustic. And this, I think, is, I got both guitars from Musician's Friend, and this, I think, is their brand. This is a Rogue, and then this other one is an Epiphone, which is made by yeah, I forgot the name of the company that makes them, but it's all Chinese-made guitars, and but I like it. It's nice. It's what I wanted. But I like cheap guitars anyway, so. I'm sure you will. I went to a resale shop, and I found this really cool looking guitar, and I don't know what brand it was, but it was cheap as well. And I got to looking at it, and when I turned it around and looked at the back, it looked like somebody just went wham, and there was a big old hole right there. And I actually probably should have bought it and just kind of cut that out and had it fixed, or took it somewhere and had somebody fix it. And yeah, this thing's filthy, but it was kind of neat looking. You could tell it was cheap. I probably should have told her I'll give you $5 for it, but I didn't do it. But I just know basic chords. I don't know any notes, and I don't know how to do bar chords. And I mean, eventually I think this is basically a beginner's guitar is what this is. And they say that because the frets on it are taller. The neck is supposed to be a little different than my other one, and it's supposed to be where you don't have to press down as hard. And I don't see any difference in it, to be honest with you. And I think I still do press down a little more than what they're saying. If you visit Cebu, Philippines, place a lot of people them making, yes. I've seen a lot of videos on Cebu, and it looks interesting to visit. I imagine you can probably do bar chords on this pretty easy. Now, I don't play with my pinky enough, and I need to start. They got a little device that you can buy, and you push down on these things, and it kind of helps strengthen your hand. And I need to start using my pinky more. And learning more chords and so on and so forth. But yeah, my fingers just don't want to move like a lot of other people. I've actually tried to learn guitar for many years. I never could understand it. And then the last band I was in, a friend of mine was showing me some chords, and it just took off from there. So he just kind of showed me some simple ways, because he showed me the way he plays a C chord, which is actually an easy exchange from what a C chord actually is to be played. So so a C chord is actually supposed to look like that. That's a C chord. But, and then I'll show you, and that is a G. But what he does is he'll take those fingers down to the next strings. So here you go, there's a G, and then he'll take it down to the next strings, and then he calls that his C. I mean, I'm sure that's probably some kind of a C, because they do sound similar. They just have a little bit of a different tone, instead of taking your fingers and then putting it like that, because that's actually your C right there. And it's hard for me to go from that, you know, if I take this finger off, and see, and I got to use my pinky. So instead of doing that and then doing that, so yeah, I mean, it's a matter of moving those fingers back and forth, and then you're going to have to do a hand workout to get that. So I'll play a real C. That's a real C. And then this is the C that he showed me. So it's just a little lower, but it still sounds the same. And then if you back those two fingers up, I can do a little better here. So if you back those two fingers up to even two more strings, and then take this one, and it's actually supposed to be covering these two strings here, but I can't do it sometimes. That is an F. So the F is right next to the C. That's an F, and that's a C. So when I wrote Dancer, that's what the two chords are when I start out writing Dancer. Then it goes into a G. And then back to an F. Actually, that goes from a G to a C. I take that back. And then it goes back to an F. So it's basically F, C, G, C, F, C, G, C. That's what that song is. So I need to work on not only more chords, but I need to work on finger strength. And I also need to work on my scales. So once you learn your scales, then you can start making doing notes along with your chords. No, they don't know how to play guitar. Dylan plays piano, and I bought him a electronic piano or electric piano or whatever you want to call it for Christmas one year, and he actually wanted to be a bass player, but then all of a sudden he started wanting to play the piano, and he's pretty good at it, but I don't think he practices enough as he should, and but yeah, he plays the piano, and of course the very first instrument I started playing was a trumpet. So I played trumpet in school, and I did that for several years, and then I quit doing that, and I traded my trumpet in for an electric guitar, and I wish I still had that guitar, and I ended up letting some people bash it, and I wish I would have never done that. Of course, I was a young, stupid teenager at the time, and so I went from that to playing drums, and I self-taught on that. I'm not the greatest drummer in the world, even though I've played on and off for 30 years. I know I'm basically a basic drummer. So, just like guitar player, I just know my basic beats. I don't have the room or the time to practice with drums because they're actually louder than, of course, the guitar. So I thought when I moved and got a new home, I was going to have the room to set them up and play. Which, when we first moved in this house, I did have them set up downstairs, and I did try to play them, but they were so loud. No matter where you are in the house, it was just like you're standing next to them. So those got put up, and now they're basically used as furniture. So my bass drum is on its facing up instead of the way it's supposed to, and then we got a piece of wood sit on there, and that's our coffee table. And then my floor tom is a side table next to the couch. And of course I use my drum throne in here to do this. And but everything else is put away, and I need to get cases for those drums so they don't get ruined. But we're going on almost 2 hours, and when I hit 2 hours, I'm gonna stop this. Excuse me, man, indigestion. I'm gonna stop this live stream at 2 hours, and that's in about 8 minutes, and get ready for the rest of my day. And I do gotta go into work for an hour today, and I might even go in before 10 o'clock. I don't know. It all depends on the weather. And because we are supposed to get storms today, it's supposed to get some heavy rains. It is supposed to be warm. Let's see what the weather is today. So, according to my phone, it is 25 degrees Celsius in my town. According to this phone, it is 26 degrees Celsius in Tokyo. It says it is 27 degrees in Quezon City, Philippines, and you guys are having storms according to this. 29 degrees in Hong Kong, 28 degrees in Singapore, 38 degrees in Dubai, and 39 in Doha, all in Celsius. And in Fahrenheit, after saying all them Celsius, So in Fahrenheit, it is 77 degrees here, 79 degrees Fahrenheit in Tokyo, 81 degrees Fahrenheit in Quezon City, 84 degrees in Hong Kong, 82 degrees in Singapore, 100 in Dubai, and 102 in Doha. And that's all in Fahrenheit. So that's what tells you what your double digits Celsius temperatures are. So in Fahrenheit. So yeah, it's very hot all over today. In fact, today it's supposed to get, right now it's 25 degrees Celsius. And it is supposed to get 28 today, Celsius. And an 80% chance of thunderstorms. Let's see here. And in Fahrenheit, that is 82 degrees Fahrenheit today. But we do have some high temperatures coming in the next few days. So yeah, it gets very hot and humid here. I had to actually turn our air conditioner back on because it was getting hot in the house. And plus my phone, and I'm sure my tablet's probably getting low on its battery, so that's why I don't stay on very long. I mean, I could plug them in, but yeah. So I'm only got 5 more minutes, guys, and then I'm gonna call her quits on here. And yeah, this thing here came with my new guitar. This is a guitar humidifier. So this, I think you're supposed to put moisture inside that hole right there, but I didn't do it. I just stuck it in my old guitar. Crazy. Yeah, but I'll keep that. But my viewership keeps going up and down, from 4 to 6. People are coming in and out, and when I started, I really didn't think anybody was going to show up. I had one person show up. She was in for like a few, maybe a minute, and then she left. I don't know if she came back because she hasn't commented again, so she didn't stay in very long. And then I didn't have anybody for a little bit, and then everybody started kind of showing up. So yeah, so once I get all those ingredients, I wrote down what I don't have. So actually yesterday I bought some lemon juice. I don't have a white onion, so I need to go buy a white onion. I don't have any bay leaves, so I got to buy some of those. This recipe calls for black peppercorn, but I'm not going to put black peppercorn in it. I'm just going to use some black pepper. I don't have any garlic cloves. Some recipes call for not only the soy sauce, which I do have, but one recipe called for fish sauce along with it. But another recipe that I looked at did not call for fish sauce, so I may not put the fish sauce in there. And I do have white vinegar. So yeah, this 5 items, or 4 items, I still got to go get. Actually 3 items, because I already got pepper. So yeah, 3 items left to go get. But once I get all that and then read over the recipe, I will film it as I go and put it on. I don't know when I'm going to get to that, but it will get on there. So this thing, I got a insufficient amount of memory, and it may shut down. So I'm going to get off of here now before this thing just shuts down. And you all have a great day or a great evening. I'm going to have a great day. And I will see you next Saturday at the same time. I know a lot of you are probably eating dinner when I start, or getting ready to, or doing dishes or whatever. But yeah. Yeah, so I will get this video done eventually, and put it on my channel, and we will try this out. Yes, insufficient memory may lead to a shutdown of the app. Please remove. I don't know why it's telling me to remove. There's nothing to remove. So all right, everybody, I'm gonna go. You all have a great evening, and I will see you next time. So until then, goodbye, everybody.